So this is a quick video on how to plan your meals for the next day in MyFitnessPal. And there's a lot of different ways you can approach this, and you can play around with it and tweak it according to you. For me personally, the best time of the day for me to do this is when I'm cooking dinner or right after dinner as I'm putting food away and I want to make up containers of food for the next day. So we can go into diary, and you can see my nutrients remaining today. I'm actually filming this video pretty late at night, so this is actually my food that I've got planned for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and practice. So let's say I just got done eating dinner and I want to plan my next day. So we're in tomorrow here. I can see I like to switch my nutrients remaining to gram macronutrient focus, so I can look at my grams because that's our main focus here. Then you can see I've got meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, and snacks. We're going to talk about how to do that and why in a different video. So first, let's look at breakfast. So I know what I'm going to have here. Now I can put this in different ways, like a smoothie, where I could have one that's saved. So like I can go to meals, and then I got my Kellogg's protein bar and smoothie that I can click on. And to have both of those together, I'm looking around 800 calories, but I'm getting 65 grams of protein, 22 grams of fat, 83 grams of carbs. Hit my little check mark, so I got that in there. Now that one's fairly high to have first thing in the day. So recently what I've done is actually taken out the peanut butter, changed it to a PB2 powder, but we're going to go with this right now anyway, or PB Fit powder, excuse me. So I know I can see what I got left. I'm still fairly balanced on carbs and protein, which was where I'm personally trying to stay. And you can see I've got a ton of calories left because my calories start at 2,900 because I'm trying to do body recomp. So I know what I want to consider is I've got 3 meals left and some snacks to be able to get those carbs, proteins, and fats. I don't add any fats into my personal snacks because usually they come from the meals I eat with almost no problem at all. And fat is 9 calories per gram, so we don't need as many grams of it. As you can see, it's significantly lower here than my carbs and proteins. So I focus my snacks around proteins and carbs. Some of you may just focus your snacks around proteins, but if you got a much higher percentage of fats, you might have to have those in your snacks as well. So then I want to look at, I have 3 meals left and snacks. So I know I'm going to probably get more protein in each meal, but potentially what I can do here is just say 180, let's say 189 divided by 4. So what's that, 20, 45, roughly 47. So that'd be about 47 grams of protein per meal. So I want to consider my go-to foods that I've got saved to get that in. So meal 2 would be lunch for me. I know I've got these mesquite grilled chicken fillets. I can get 28 grams of protein for one of those, which is 4 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and have 2 of those for lunch, and that might even negate my need for a snack later, right? Because I've just gone over that roughly 47 grams of protein that I need, and it was a similar amount of carbs that I need. So I've got some foods that I've used for that in the past, as you can see here. So let's go into, let's see if I can find my rice. So I've got some rice saved. And you can see my rice, I've got 2.4 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein, but 30 grams of carbs. So I needed a little, it was about 171 carbs that I had left earlier before, let me go back to it. If you see here at the top left, 171 grams of carbs before I added my meal 2 chicken in. So 170 divided by the 4 or 3 meals and 1 snack I had left would be roughly 45, a little, if it was 180, so a little bit less than that, like roughly 40. So we're going to say like 30 to 40. So now we're going to add something that brings in between 30 and 40 grams of carbs. So let me get back down to that rice again, because I had 31.2 grams of carbs for 1 cup. Let's add that in. And then we always want to make sure we got a veggie. And my go-to veggie are these frozen rice, cauliflower, broccoli, and cheese deals, because cauliflower gives me some good nutrients as well as the broccoli that's in there. And it does add 10 grams of carbs also, so that gets me up to that 40 grams of carbs. So those are my go-to deals. And I've got different rice things and quinoa, different things and breads that I can switch out for that. So remember, we're still working around, now we've got 2 meals and a snack. So, and one of those meals is dinner. For me, I never know what dinner is going to be until later, and that usually dictates what's for lunch the next day. So oftentimes I'll try to leave some reasonable numbers left for dinner in case I want a light, lower calorie dessert afterwards, or just to help work whatever's being cooked into my macros. If I know ahead of time, then I go ahead and put dinner in, but usually I won't put dinner in until it's closer to dinner time. That's just me personally. Maybe easier for you if you know what you're going to have. So meal 3, I want to think about it. So I need something that's going to be roughly 40 grams of carbs and between about 47 grams of carbs and between 47 grams of protein and between 30 and 40 grams of carbs. So for me, I'm going to have like something like a sandwich here with a ton of turkey on it. And again, I've got stuff like go-to. So 7 slices of this turkey can get me 28 grams of protein and 7 grams of carbs. So let's add that in. I know I got a little bit left I need. Let's throw that on. I have this, we use these flats called Joseph's Lavish Bread. And with those, it's cool because they have 9 grams of protein and 14 grams of carbs. So I'm going to add that. And that plus the turkey's got me at about 37 grams of protein. Oops, let's click on that Lavish Bread. About 21 grams of carbs. So I could add something to this if I wanted to. A lot of times this is where I'll add a little bit of fat, maybe a few pretzels, something like that. Let's throw in some mayonnaise. We'll get a little bit of fat in there. Of course, there's always better fat than that. I'm just keeping this simple right now. We can increase those carbs a little bit by adding a little bit of spinach here. And then mustard, which is pretty much, technically does not have calories. Let's throw, love mustard. Mustard has a lot of flavor for minimal calories. So we got that, and we're going to toss a little bit of cheese. Now again, I don't always add cheese or mayonnaise. It really kind of depends on what's coming up for dinner. Let's say, so 1.3 ounces of this Colby Jack is about 2 pieces, which I've learned from weighing my food in the past. So that leaves me 22 grams of fat, 76 grams of protein, and 107 carbs for the rest of the day. So a lot of times I can make up 76 grams of protein. If I don't think I'll be able to, I'll go ahead and throw another protein shake in there, and that brings me down to 34. But honestly, I know I'll get more than 34 for dinner. So for me, I would take this down to a single scoop of a protein shake. So that leaves me like 55 for dinner, which is much more realistic, and 100 grams of carbs, which will help with whatever else I want to have on the side for my dinner with carbs, including veggies, because I try to add veggies to every meal, as well as any starchy carbs or possibly a lower calorie dessert at the end of the day. And generally, if I got 21 grams of fat left, that leaves me room to probably have a little bit less lean protein if I want to, but usually I'm still going to try to stick to something leaner. And then if I can hit that and still have that, like, let's go down to snacks. Let's add, I like to go ahead and add my dessert in before dinner, so I know what I've got left for dinner if I like really want to have dessert that night. So let's say Halo Top, peanut butter cup. 3 servings is pretty much the whole thing at 330 calories. So let's go 1.5. So I eat half of it. And then that leaves me 15 grams of fat, 45 grams of protein. Another cool thing about Halo Top is it has protein in it. And 71 grams of carbs for dinner, which is probably perfect for me personally. I may even have to remove that scoop of protein because I like to bring in a bunch of protein and calories at dinner. It's just the way my schedule works out. But you could do that. So essentially, plan your whole day out, leave one meal empty, whichever one works best for you, and just move things around. Eventually, you'll have your go-to foods, and you try to find things that your spouse enjoys as well, that you guys can share to make things a little easier. And it should help you a ton. But you saw, let's see, this video, 8 minutes long, so that's about how long it takes to plan your day out. Less than 10 minutes. Anybody can get that done, especially after dinner when you're putting away food that you can use for leftovers for the next day. So I hope this helps you. If you got any questions, please ask.